Hi, how you doing? And welcome back to another video on the channel. What we have for you today is a preview video of Game Week 6, as well as a quick review of Game Week 5, how my team did, and my thoughts moving forward. So let's get into it. And as we get the team on the board, overall, it was not a good game week, especially at about 4:30 on Saturday afternoon, before a couple of late attacking returns for my players really boosted my score. Went down about 150k to 290k ish, but that is still absolutely fantastic, especially for me and my team. With my track history at this stage of the season, I will be taking that. Hopefully, we can build on that and even get maybe an increase in rank in game week 6. So the keepers on the board here. I thought after Onana had let in three against Brighton that I was absolutely smashing it with the decision to put in Matt Turner. Matt Turner also conceded, so it didn't really make a difference in the end. Into the defence, and Saliba really saved me on Sunday. At one point, Ake didn't start, came on in the 95th minute. Chilwell didn't start, came on with 10 minutes to go and got booked. So a bit of a nightmare there. 6 points from Saliba was the best I could hope for. On the bench as well, it was, neither played, so I was right to bench them. They were already on my bench. They weren't, they didn't get swapped out for anybody. So, Stupinan came back from international fixture and Baldock had a bit of an injury. So they are two players that I benched and, again, right to bench them, took the risk with the Stupinan. The midfield was not good either. Now, that Arsenal game on Sunday really helped me out because 12 points there takes you from like 28 points to 40 points. And I know like 12 points to 12 points no matter where they are, but just how the difference looks between, 28 and then actually capping the 40 mark just kind of mentally makes you feel a bit better. 40 looks so much better than 39. The rest of the midfield, though, 2 points, and you can't knock it for consistency in my team selection because you can't get much more consistent than that, but you also can't get much more worse than that. So we're going to swiftly move on to the attack, and I was right to captain Haaland. As always, he actually was the highest point scorer of the game week, along with Saka and Saliba. So I couldn't have picked anyone better. Watkins did get a late assist, fouled for a penalty, his fourth assist in 5 games. I will take points wherever they come from. If he's going to get fouled for a penalty, I'll take it. So the fixtures for this game week are as follows, and there is no early kickoff on Saturday. So a bit of a later deadline, latest deadline so far this season for your team selection, which is always nice because it gives you a bit more time to think about your options. Maybe you get some more team news. And out of the three kickoffs we have at 3 o'clock on Saturday, the Man City at home to Nottingham Forest fixture looks the best. I think if you've got Man City players, you absolutely play them, especially Haaland, and I would be captaining Haaland at home because statistically he is just a better player at home, but you would captain him no matter what, in my opinion. The next kickoff we've got on Saturday is the 5:30 Brentford versus Everton. Now, that is an interesting game to see whether Everton can build on that narrow defeat to Arsenal and whether Brentford can get back to winning ways after this last weekend. Hopefully, Mbuemo's on the score sheet. I could really do with a return from him, but he's been awesome for my team so far. The last kickoff on Saturday is Man United away at Burnley. Now, I know that some of you will be thinking, like, I've had enough of Man United players for 5 game weeks. I'm done with them. This could be a fixture that really comes back and bites you with that nice fixture at Burnley because Burnley are just absolutely conceding goals left, right, and centre. And I think Man United players just keep hold of them for this game week. Give them another game week at least. If they really can't get it together for this one, then I think, yeah, you're perfectly within your rights to transfer them out. Sunday's games, and we've got 4 kickoffs at 2 o'clock. Don't really see that very often. The highlight probably being Arsenal at home to Spurs. I wouldn't anticipate a clean sheet here. I think there are going to be lots of goals. So put your attacking players in, maybe take your defending players out. The next best fixture for me is Liverpool versus West Ham. West Ham having a bit of a tough time at the moment. Man City and Liverpool back to back. But I think it's good to see if Liverpool can break them down, as West Ham's defence has looked okay. They conceded a couple of late goals for Man City, but up to that point, looked like they were a good team. Chelsea versus Aston Villa is again another fixture you maybe want to keep your eye on, especially if you've got Chelsea players. I think this is part of their good run that they had. A bit more of a difficult fixture than the others. But I think if Chelsea really can't, start performing, against a team like Aston Villa who are hoping for top 6. Chelsea are also allegedly trying to be in the top 6. I think it's maybe time to move your Chelsea players on. The final fixture of the game week is Newcastle away at Sheffield United. I think Newcastle players look great for this, especially from a defensive point of view. You know, Newcastle's fixtures are starting to turn. I think if you wanted like Newcastle defenders in, this would probably be the game week to get them in. And there's someone there at good value. Sheffield United are not great from an attacking point of view. Let's look at how my team lines up for this game week then. And in goal, I'm going to start with Onana, mainly because my other goalkeeper has Man City away. It's really just like the better of two bad options, I guess. But Burnley, I haven't been scoring loads of goals. I'd like to think Man United could start turning it around. The defence also kind of picks itself. Now, Ake is potentially one of the transfers that I'm thinking of getting out. My team for this game week, I do have 0.3 in the bank, which isn't a lot after last week's transfer, and 2 free transfers. So my overall plan is to try and bench boost for game week 7 and then wildcard in game week 8. So I'm looking at isolating the next 2 game weeks with my transfers and then just kind of revamping my team a little bit for the fixture swing. So in order to get in uh, some players, I'm thinking I absolutely want them to be playing on game week 7. Ake is someone who is an obvious rotation risk, and I think even if my player only gets like 2 points that I bring in for someone like Ake, I'd rather have that than no points. I think that would be a big sort of blow for me. And I'd be thinking I was wasting my bench boost, even if the point difference is minimal. So Ake is maybe on his way out. One player I am looking at upgrading is Baldock from Sheffield United. Now, I can't upgrade Baldock to anyone decent, really, with only 0.3 million in the bank. The next good options are about 4.5. So, if I'm going to upgrade Baldock, I need to move someone out more expensive. Hence, another reason why I might be taking out Ake to free up a few extra funds. Into the midfield, and we've got Saka at home to Spurs. Like we said, get your Arsenal attacking options there. Same for your Spurs options. I think it could be one of those games which is like 2-2, maybe 3-1, something like that to either side. I think that would be a good game for your players in midfield and beyond. Really looking at Sterling and Chilwell. Aston Villa at home, like we said, you'd like to think if Chelsea are going to do anything this season, they'd do it against Villa. But Villa have won 3 out of the first 5 games, I believe, so they are a tough team to play against. Foden at home to Forest. I think I'm going to keep him in for this one, but him and Rashford are possibly going to be going out in my game week 8 wildcard. Now, someone like Mbuemo, he's done so well so far. He's at a good price point. Brentford's fixtures aren't necessarily the best after game week 8 or 9, so I'll be interested to see how he does from open play. Whether he still keeps getting those chances moving forward will be a big telling point. Whether he stays in my team, and Everton look like a great opportunity to do that. Just rounding out the team, up front, we're going to captain Haaland. Like we said, if in doubt, captain Haaland. Even if you're not in doubt, it should be because you're captaining Haaland. The risk to captain someone else and any other players is just too big. I just don't see a need to do it, especially at this early stage in the season where you're more likely to fall behind than you are to gain rank from captaining somebody else. And Ollie Watkins, like we say, got 4 assists in first 5 games. I think if he scores 1 or 2 goals, especially against Chelsea, people are going to be starting to talk about getting him in your team as an absolute essential for Villa's fixtures. I've had him from the start, but I'm probably going to be hanging on to him even when I wildcard. So yeah, my transfer thoughts personally are taking out Ake to someone like Botman and then upgrading Baldock to someone like Dan Burn because Newcastle have Sheffield United and then Burnley in the 2 fixtures before game week 8. I think if I'm going to make one transfer, it has to be Ake out for Botman because I don't have the funds to upgrade anywhere else. Everyone else is pretty much nailed on, I think. Obviously, you've got Chilwell and Foden who might get rotated out, but I think the rest of my team are probably going to start. I think Ake is the most rotation risk, and Baldock is someone that I just don't really want to rely on for points. So let me know what you think about my team. Is there anyone else you transfer out? Anyone else you think you transfer in? Are 2 Newcastle defenders quite boring? I do feel like it's probably the best option for points against the teams they're playing. Let me know if you've got any questions as well in the comments. Thank you very much for listening. Please do check out our wildcard video as well. The link should be that right now. And I will see you in the next one.